Hello friends, hello. I wanted to take a minute to introduce you to your piles for this reading about what fairy tale is coming true for you. So these are the three piles. Take a look here. Pile number 1 is the Enchanted Forest Tarot. It likes to be under this leaf, along with my book, The Stallion Returns. Pile number 2 is the Pastel Journey Tarot, along with my book, The Missing Shadow Books. And pile number 3 is the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy, along with my yet-to-be upcoming release book, The Fairies of Lemonlock. So these are your three piles. The other thing to mention is in one of the piles I mentioned there is an extended Patreon reading that I think I said I hadn't done it yet, but as of the filming of this intro and as of this video being out there for you all, this reading being out there, this pick a card, that extended reading is now available over on Patreon in the Bringers of the Light tier. So if that interests you, you can head on over. There's a link in the show notes to that, and you can take a look at the extended reading for that group. So I hope you enjoy your reading. Again, here's your piles. Look at that Pastel Journey, so cute, along with that Missing Shadow Books. And then yo-ho, yo-ho, the Fire's Life for me, Fairies of Lemonlock. I will see you in your piles, and I want to thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Hello, pile number 1. Hello. You chose the Enchanted Forest Tarot and my book, The Stallion Returns. Welcome in and get cozy as we are going to talk about what fairy tale is coming true for you. Now, don't tell me of time frames. What does now mean? All right, so let's see. Let's get started with the actual fairy tale page. All my books I consider tales, fairy tales in a way. So this is The Stallion Returns. This is book 2 of the Thunder Rose collection. If any of these stories interest you, all my ebooks are free to read. I put the link to my Smashwords publisher in my show notes, or I'm all over the place. Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes and Nobles. We've got over 15 books out there now, fiction and nonfiction. So let's get your intuitively chosen part. Oh my gosh, this is so bizarre. This is Into the Cave. Okay, this is Into the Cave. I sometimes have to remember where I'm at in the story because I wrote this one a long time ago. So Into the Cave, we're going to read this little excerpt and we're going to draw some cards to see what fairy tale is coming true. So this is the Thunder Rose collection. These are my soulmates or counterparts. The lovers in this story are Edgar and Pamela. They are a little bit more of a mature, spiritually mature couple, kind of in their late 40s. No, I don't know how old they are. Pamela's in her 40s. Edgar, I think, is a little bit older. As Edgar looked around, he felt he was being guided to keep moving deeper into the great woods. He felt somehow that he was being guided by something beyond his own inner compass. So he let go and allowed himself to be led. It was in these moments that Edgar marveled. He's going to the woods, and we have the Enchanted Forest Tarot. That's good. It was in these moments that Edgar marveled at spirit and the way that if you simply allowed and stopped trying to interfere, that the most magical of things could manifest. So he stayed out of his head and allowed himself and found, oh my gosh, what's going on in my brain? So So as he stayed out of his head and aloud, he found himself right in front of a great cave entrance. There was still the ancient symbols on the front, to the left and right, that those darned Screech, oh, they're the bad guys in this book, had painted there in the blood of, oh yes, this book has scary undertones. The Screech was one of like this, I don't do like gruesome horror stories, but I do like to bring in like slightly like middle grade spooky into my books. This one was just like slightly out of my comfort zone, but I went with it anyway. So maybe that's what's happening here. Something that's slightly out of your comfort zone is going to manifest, because the Thunder Rose Forest is a forest of shadow and light. And whenever people venture into it, it's either a little spooky thing can happen or a very light-filled thing can happen. So he found himself in front of a great cave entrance. This was still the ancient, there was still these, these stupid Screech. These are the dark orders Screech. Those darn Screech had painted there in the blood of the goat they had slaughtered on the land. Oh, they were so evil. He shivered slightly at the thought of it. But the Screech were gone now, and he was anxious and more so curious to see what lay inside that cave. Why he was being drawn here, he wasn't completely sure, but he did know that this was part of why he had come back to the ranch each and every winter since he could recall. He was inexorably drawn to this land, and it was a pulling at his heart that he couldn't quite understand. As he stepped closer to the cave, he felt himself almost being pulled, it's probably being pulled in. Yep, pulled inside by an energetic force he couldn't understand. But it didn't feel bad, only that it just wanted him to keep going. Oh, keep going. So he stepped inside with one and then both feet into the dark entrance. He pulled his flashlight from his bag and allowed the bright light to fill the spaces around him. I'm not going to put this back up there because that glossy cover is kind of glaring, but we might refer back to that. So you're at like a precipice, oh gosh, of change going into this cave, but I don't think it's a cave of darkness. I think this cave is a cave of possibility. And I think when he goes inside, if I remember this chapter correctly, he does get a lot of guidance and a lot of light. A lot of higher wisdom is bestowed upon him. So this is the Tarot of the Enchanted Forest. This is a deck you chose. And this particular deck, I do find it very interesting. We're talking about the woods and Thunder Rose Forest. This particular deck, when I got it, the first thing it wanted to do when I like to have as many decks as possible, like out and about. I don't like to store them in drawers and cabinets and bookshelves. I like to have them circulating and they want to be used. So oh, it's so hard not to get so many. But this one wanted to go under like a piece of wood, and this leaf, it just wants to sit like it's in the soil or something. Hence why the leaf is always there with this deck. So let's get some cards for you, right? It's like, oh, don't take my leaf too far. Some cards to go along with, you know, what's going on. You're going to this cave. Oh, the spooky little Screeches around. No, they're not around. They left. Oh, goodness me. Let's see. See, this is why. You can't see what's ahead. That's this cave energy. This Two of Swords, blindfolded, unaware of what's going to happen next. Swords at the ready, magic mushrooms by your side, but the forest helping to light the way with all of the stars and the lights around her. She's got a ton of emerald green on, all green, healing energy and magic. What fairy tale? This still doesn't really help me. Like, what specific fairy tale is coming true for you? So they're telling me to pull from the bottom of the deck. Oh, it's the Magician. Okay, you're manifesting something, obviously. And we've got a 1 and a 2. What's going on? Wow, you're like standing inside the cauldron. and lots of purple and the, you know, whatever that, the infinity symbol. Okay, and then they want me to get one more card from the middle of the deck. King of Pentacles. Very determined look in your eye. You're manifesting something into the physical. It's something you've been working on for quite some time. I just love his eyes. Look at that. You're very patient though, because look how the hands are just like, just waiting for my ships to come in. Let's build on these 3 cards with, it is right after EBOOKS here in the Northern Hemisphere. And after Lunasa, the Southern Hemisphere, depending on where you're listening or watching to this reading. So I do find myself, as your group started, just very distracted by the outdoors, because I'm trying to talk to you and you're reading, but I just keep being brought to the window like I'm looking for something or waiting for something or watching for someone to arrive, kind of a thing. All right, well, let's bring in my deck Spring Fling and see what else. This is my deck, so if you like any of my decks that I use, this is a humongoloid deck. All my decks are available through the Game Crafter. If any of them speak to you, they are out there for you to browse if you like. Okay. Oh, 3 cards. See, 1 for each of these. All right. The first one you got is the number 4. That's going on the Magician. Then you got Justice, Cosmic Balance. This is the Justice card in the Major Arcana. This deck is like an amalgamation of so many things. I can't even go into it right now. And the Magician card. Oh, you have the Magician twice. The Magician on the King of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a fairy tale. This is a fairy tale dream that is going to bring you into greater balance. I guess hence why she's balancing like all 2 feet, both hands firmly on this little cauldron here. Something that's going to bring you into greater balance. And this Magician energy is at the beginning and the end of your reading with this cosmic balance in the middle. What else could we be doing here? All right, let's get this Loveland deck out. This is also my deck. This is a mixture of my Loveland Spring pack and my Loveland Autumn Fall pack mixed together. I sell these separately, and then you can bundle them together. And planchette with a strong focus. That's like that King of Pentacles there in that card. Melanie created her desire, the planchette only a tool. She was co-creating from a higher power. This is almost like the Magician card again. Oh my gosh, this is like the Magician 3 times. So this is something you've been holding space for quite some time. You've been wishing, you've been hoping, you've been praying, you've been wanting this thing to come in. It still hasn't shown up yet. You could have been working on this. It seems like for a long time with all it coming out, the Magician coming out so many times. Like, I'm drinking pumpkin spice tea today. This is part of your reading. I'm drinking pumpkin spice tea, which for me would have been, you know, the fall, which would have been last year or last season. So I feel like many seasons have gone by and you're still manifesting. Because if we look at this as like past, present, and future, there's the Magician in every single pile. It's like still manifesting, still manifesting, still manifesting. What is going on here? What is going on? So I'm going to pull from my deck Twin Hearts. I'm still not clear yet if this is a person, place, thing. you know, the guides sometimes like to tease us through these readings and have us take a little, this is it, like a little journey where you can't see your way forward and you go one step at a time, one card at a time. Duh, of course, twin hearts. All this time I thought she was a ghost haunting me. Billy Tavish in Chaga and Chai. So this does feel like this is romance related, only because twin hearts is like the ultimate, you know, when you get a twin hearts card, it's like the ultimate soulmates. So these are usually quotes from my books, and they're usually, the twin hearts ones are quotes from all the, you know, soulmates, divine counterparts, twin flames, whatever you want to call them. And in this particular book, Chaga and Chai, Billy Tavish, oh, all right, it's okay. Billy Tavish kept seeing signs and having dreams and having like lucid dreams and seeing like, you know, astral projection of this woman. He didn't know who she was, and he would like see her on the beach and see her like, you know, in her day, I guess in her daily life, or like hanging out. I don't know. I don't remember all the deets of where she was, but he kept seeing her. He would go to sleep. He would see her in his dreams. He would be looking at something. He would look out the window, and then he would see like a vision in his third eye of this woman. And he at one point was like, "Who is this woman? Is she a ghost? Is she haunting me? Because I just see her and I don't know her in real life." And so he ends up going to Master Psychic Chandra Rose. Oh yeah, she's the lover in my book Rose and Sky, the third of the Soulmate series. But Chaga and Chai is, I think, the second in my Soulmate series. But anyway, regardless, he thinks she's a ghost, and he goes to his friend Psychic Chandra Rose, and Chandra Rose is like, "This is not a ghost. This is visions of your person, and you've just been seeing them everywhere, and they were getting more frequent." And so that's why he was like starting to freak out a little bit, because he's like, you know, this person is like inundating my reality, and who are they? And so Chandra Rose sets him straight and says, "No, this is your person, and you're going to come together." And they do, is this spoiler alert? No, because all the soulmates here, all my books, they always come together. They do end up meeting, but it was a very synchronistic, very divinely timed. A ton of divine intervention had to come into play for them to come together. So I think that's a really fun story. If you are trying to manifest your person, like it appears that you are, I would say Chaga and Chai is one to read, to really help keep your spirits up about the fact that, yes, this person's out there. Yes, the universe is doing a ton of stuff behind the scenes that you can't see right now to bring this person into your reality. And there's going to be some, you know, that you can't even foretell from a reading. Chain of events that happens to bring the two of you together very unexpectedly, very, you know, haphazardly, you know, bumping into each other in some place you least expect. Traveling across the world, you know, because you just feel compelled to go to this place you've never been before. And then, oh, ta-da, you know, you meet up with your person. So that, I think, that's what's happening here. You're manifesting a person, which I kind of figured with the King of Pentacles, but I was like, is it a person? I don't know. And maybe with the Magician coming out on him, and it doesn't have to be gender, you know, put whatever gender you want on this, but with the guy here, also with the Magician card, this could also, you could also take these three piles as like pile one, or not pile, yeah, this one. You manifesting balance and all this stuff as the Magician. Your person, King of Pentacles energy, Magician, manifesting you at the same time, because that's really what was happening in Chaga and Chai too. And in the beginning, oh my gosh, my words today. You would think it was Mercury retrograde, but it's not. In the middle is Two of Swords, this energy that you can't see right now. You're not together yet. Justice, cosmic balance, planets have to, oh, there are planets there, or circles. Planets have to align before you can come together. Sources, the higher power is the one kind of taking care of all the details. And when the time is right, the energies align. The block, what you consider to be a block, but it's just whatever, rejection is protection, or things have to go on before you can come together. This thing gets removed, and then the two of you can come together. So let's see if they'll give us any hints about when this cosmic balance is supposed to come into play. Oh, let's see. Let's look at Lemurian Star Child. I get the feeling you're just tired of waiting. Let's see if they'll give us any juiciness on timing. A 4 again, divine masculine. That is not very helpful. You could take that as April. The number 4 is April. You do have 4 twice, which is 4, 4. I would say take timings with a grain of salt, but and there's the huge total solar eclipse in April. It's going to be massive. Not this hasn't been. It will not have been as impactful as the one in the summer of 2017. It will be as impactful, if not more so. Again, I can like my words. I just feel like you're just like, here we go again. Just getting the same messages. Eclipse very impactful. This April one. Aligning things. Bringing things into cosmic balance. Removing blindfolds. It's a fresh start. It's in an Aries eclipse. So let me see if there's any other cards you want me to draw. Let's get some advice, because this person is like, pile 1, I feel like you're like, oh, I just can't wait any longer. City of Dreams Oracle, because you know, we're talking about fairy tales, and isn't New York City, this is this deck, these Jackie Franco decks are taking, that and her Midnight City Tarot are both centered around New York City, and that's the City of Dreams, one of the City of Dreams, I would say that, and Los Angeles, California, or yeah, Hollywood, Los Angeles. Any advice for our friends in pile number 1, because I think they're just feeling the pain of like a long, long journey. And you got, oh, I knew it. Enjoy the ride. Let's read from this. Yeah, right. We're not supposed to be focused on outcomes. We're supposed to be focused on the journey. Let's see what the Enjoy the Ride card says, because she does put like some I don't know what's going on with my words in this pile, you guys. Enjoy the ride. This is a place. This is, well, they're all places. Jane's carousel spins around and around as the horses gently sway up and down. All of this represents this, there we go again, the cyclical nature of the universe and the highs and lows of life. You're on this ride. You might as well look for the fun in it. Cycles and spirals, the fractal nature of the universe. Cyclical patterns can be found in your personal life, in the city, and in the world at large. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, you just, there's really, at this point, nothing you can do to further manifest what you want at this time. All you can do is just sit back and enjoy the journey, enjoy your life, and let nature, basically nature as a metaphor for, you know, planets aligning, divine timing, divine intervention, letting all of those things take their course. You've done everything you need to do and are doing, continuing to hold space for your dream, continuing to believe and have faith that it is real, it is really going to happen. It's not a ghost, it's not a dream like Billy Tavish thinks in Chaga and Chai. It's a real person. They really are manifesting. And the thing too to remember is you're manifesting them, and at the same time, they are manifesting you. It's not a pipe dream. It's not your imagination. Any songs you might be hearing that you feel like, man, that feels like that. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. It feels like it might be coming from my person. Any dreams you've been having that stand out to you. And you may not have met this person, right? So you may not even know what they look like. Or you watching this, pile number one, could be the person that is on the flip side of this. I take pile one as being this magician person, and the king being like the person you're manifesting. But on the same side, you could be watching this as the King of Pentacles, trying to manifest your little magician person over here. And I think you then are like this person watching from afar. Maybe you've already seen this person. Maybe you briefly met them at one point in time. Somehow you were enamored with this person. You can't get them out of your thoughts. In Chaga and Chai, Billy and Larimar had never met. They had not met yet. He just had been having these dreams and visions. And yeah, that's why he thought he was going crazy. But you could be somebody who's seen this person from afar. Or maybe you've noticed them online or something. And you're like, this person feels so familiar to me. Are they my person? Like, why do I keep getting signs about this person? Why is this person or references or metaphors about this person keep turning up like in my reality, like everywhere I go? Is this my person? Like, is this just or is this just some weird, like, too good to be true thing? Like, and we're not talking like, I don't know what we're talking about. We're not talking about like stalkerish. Like, I think this king person is just kind of enamored with you, magician person, and take your role as you see fit. You're whoever you want, wherever you feel like in this. But I feel like, the king person is like enamored with magician lady, and but they're just not sure. Like, why do I keep getting drawn back to this person? Universe, why do you keep showing me signs about this person? Why do I keep seeing this person in my dreams? Like, what? Is this too good to be true? How? Because I remember, I think in the book, Billy Tavish just like, this person is beautiful. Would they really be meant for me? And it's like, yes, this is not your imagination. This is the universe tapping you on the shoulder every time to say, this dream is real. You are manifesting this person. I'm like so, and I just feel like you're just like, yeah. And you probably heard this many readings and you're not sure. So is there some other sign, something else that we can give to pile number one that will help instill a renewed sense of hope and faith and trust that this is happening? Some sign or signal or something that might be a message just for you. Okay, so I'm going to get out my little ladies. These are my little Loteria cards. These are my little ladies. These are my little Spanish ladies. My little Mexicana curanderas or whatever. And they're like looking at something by the candlelight. Maybe they're reading a little card. All right, let's get, these are minis. Like this little, someone made this. All right, and these are all the little mini ones. So let's just get any other little messages or advice for you. And we kiss, not Miley's song is playing. It's my party, I can do what I want. It's my party, I can say what I want. I can be who I want. There's that cup, there's that washing bin again, or whatever it is, the cauldron. Looks like a giant, it looks very similar to that. El caso, some little cauldron looking thing. The ladder, come on. Oh, the focus. All right, the ladder. Don't lose focus, friends. There's some ascension stuff going on here for you to be ready, for this part, ready to be ready. And la mano, the hand. Yeah, the hand. The universe has got a hand in this big time. That's card number 52. We're focusing on a face somewhere. Yep, there. Oh, see, the hand the camera was focusing on that king. The hand. Ooh, like Reiki or something. Give me a hand. Can you give me a hand? Oh, lifelines. Yeah, something about palmistry. So if you had like your palm read, because that's something people don't necessarily do as much. And we did get the fortune teller thing out. So I think you've been looking at all these ways of validating that this is true. Even getting like your palm read and trying to figure out like lines intersecting and stuff. Very interesting. All right. Okay, that's it then. That's all we have for you, pile number 1. So it does feel like this is happening sooner rather than later, because even if it's not April, whenever you're watching this, since this is timeless, April is only like 2 months, less than 2 months away from the making of this video. So if it's not April, then it's 2 months or so away from whenever you're watching this. Whichever one is the nearer to you. So like you watch this in June and April's like, you know, however many months out into the following year. It wouldn't be that one. It would be like August time frame. So about 2 months or so away from where you're at now. So that is all we have for you, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and we will see you again in our next reading. We also have readings and all sorts of other cool stuff on my Patreon. If you're interested in that, you can take a look at that link as well and see what fun things we have in the Bringers of the Light Patreon group and the Inner Sanctum Bringers of the Light Academy. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Hello, pile number 2. Hello, and thank you for joining me here. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot with its beautiful holographic rainbowy loviness. And you chose my book, The Missing Shadow Books, A Kyanite Fairy Wing Adventure. This is not how the cover looks anymore either on the paperback. This cover has gone through so many iterations. You know, I actually did a video about that, the changing faces of this book, and how Kyanite, our heroine, our person of interest, grew through the beginning of the book to the end of the book. This is also available on ebook if it sounds interesting to you. All my ebooks are free to read. All the links to everything I talk about are always in my show notes for the show. And I'm also on Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes & Nobles, my Smashword publisher. All my card decks are available at the Game Crafter exclusively right now until I move them elsewhere, which is something I'd like to do in the future. What's going on with you, pile number 2? What fairy tale is coming true for you? We're going to intuitively choose a passage from the book to start your reading. Okay, they're saying the right-hand side of the page. It was several more pages from Crystalia, the missing shadow book. But what? Perry? Oh no, it couldn't be. She couldn't be the thief. Kyanite had known her since they were young. It just couldn't be her. Her mind was racing, trying to piece everything together. She had never thought someone guilty until they were proven so without a shadow of a doubt. But this wasn't good. Not good at all. She took the pages and moved with Moon stealthily back home. After undoing the invisibility spell and thanking Moon for his help, she sat outside under the oak tree to think. Her head was pounding, and she remembered that she needed to call Lilac, so she went inside and grabbed her cell, moving back out to the old tree. Sitting on the cold earth under the old oak, she breathed deeply while dialing Lilac. Lilac's cell rang and rang and then went to her voicemail. Darn it, Kyanite thought, I need to speak to her. She sent a text asking Lilac to phone and then lay back on the cool ground. What was happening here, she wondered. She lay there breathing softly and dropped into a deep dream. Black smoke everywhere and Kyanite walking through a haze, looking and searching. And this, I think, was like my editing copy, so it has all these marks in it. I find this interesting. It has these like highlighter marks. So we're going to see if that, I must find Lilac. I can't find her. So trying to find someone, after this more, what's the word I want to use? Like betrayal, thievery, reminds me of like a Seven of Swords energy. So I'm not going to put the book back up here because of the little bit of the glare on the thing on the cover, but let's draw some cards from the Pastel Journey to see how this plays into that few paragraphs we just read. What fairy tale is coming true for you? There have been some deception in your past. Could you be looking, it fell way to the floor. Could you be looking for someone? The Seven of Cups. I do enjoy this. When I read, I think, about the making of this deck, I think these cups are supposed to be like boba teas and like bubble tea cups. It's just kind of fun. And there's a castle. Look at that cute ring with the heart. The leaves, the little baby dragon, little serpent, little ghost, little, I don't know, shrunken head. What's that? There's lots of interesting choices in these cups. Seven of Cups. Oh, this is what we did the last time. So we're going to look at the bottom of the deck. Princess of Pentacles. And then they wanted me to draw a card like from the, and you can play, ooh, look at that rainbow hologram. From the middle of the deck. The Ten of Pentacles. So you are trying to manifest your happily ever after. With all of these cups got going on, you've got your emotions tied to many different things, not just one thing, not just a person, although I think that's part of it, not just, a place, not just, more finances. Like you're holding space for a lot of different dreams to manifest and come true. And I think that's why it's a little bit hard to get a line on when these things are coming in, because there's so many different ones. And let's see, let's use my deck. This is my deck, Spring Fling. It's like a massive deck of all sorts of different things. It's got a tarot, it's got tarot in there, astrology, chakras, oracle. Jeez, Leo energy. Look at all the colors. Look at all those candies. See, it's many different things. Oh, and my son is laughing really loud, and he is a Leo. Courage, strength, fortitude. On the bottom, we've got the Chariot. Wisdom, Pisces energy, balance. I feel like I'm building something here with this little card design. Pisces energy. Pisces season is coming up here. We're in Aquarius. Are we still in Aquarius season? I think we're still in Aquarius season. Pisces season, yes, is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Today's the 9th of February. So yeah, Pisces season is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Leo season would be right in August. So I think you are getting a time frame, because all these things are just kind of slowly like trickling in over the period of this. Let's see, that would be February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so you are getting some time frames of over the next 6 months. Things are, they're saying gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. Sunshine. Yeah, that things are really gonna start taking off here. Maybe a little bit sooner than you anticipated. So I think you may be getting a lot of messages that what you want is coming in. And you feel like, because some of these things are so big that you want, that it's going to take longer than you thought. And your guides are saying, no, you're on a period of like accelerated growth with this 10 of Pentacles. And it's not just you necessarily. There's this whole bunch of your soul group and other soul groups that have been kind of queued up. Yeah, I'm getting big chills there. That have been queued up, so to speak, manifesting and doing a lot of soul work in order to manifest some bigger and better things for yourself. And it's the soul work, the shadow, whatever you want to call it, shadow work, soul growth, ascension. All of that, yeah, chills to all of that. That's, if you're new here, chills are my confirmation. But all of that soul work and soul growth had to come first before these things could start to manifest. And oh yeah, so God, chills. And so I feel like you've been doing this soul work for quite some time. And so you're kind of like, yeah, you know, my guides keep telling me one day it's all going to fall into my lap. And they're like, this is happening, this is coming. You've been getting like little glimpses of it because with each, since the winter solstice 2023, very slowly, like a snowball effect, like a ball, you know, like a moss ball rolling down a hill or something, gathering moss. A rolling stone doesn't gather moss. Is that thing? Things have been slowly moving in your favor, moving in your favor. And so that you're not overwhelmed by all these things, like they're supposed to all drop into your lap. You're supposed to have all these things that you want. They're like busting at the seams to manifest into the physical reality. But the thing is, you know, sensitive soul, it would be too much if all these things just like plopped in all at the same time. So your guides are trying to be very aware of your countenance, your energy levels, how you respond to changes, and they're slowly transitioning these things in for you. So, for example, if it's a person, you may have in the past been one of those where the person shows up that you're supposed to manifest next or whatever. The person shows up and then, like, you know, on day 2, you're already like moving in together. Or, you know, the new career, you launch like a YouTube channel, or I don't know, you launch some kind of new career, and you're used to having like instant success, like instantly being recognized for the work that you do, or, you know, all of a sudden you have 500 followers or 1,000 followers in one day, and that kind of thing where it could be a little hard to manage if you've just been in shadow work mode for a while and you're not ready for such a big plop of energy to come down into the physical. So your guides are working with you to slowly bring these things in a little bit at a time, and it's better for you that way. It's going to be easier for you to manage energetically. I know it would be nice to have the big plop drop of all these things like right away, but it will do something to your energy field that will cause a little bit of an imbalance if they do it that way. And for you, your guides are trying to keep you at a nice, even keel where it's like not so much euphoria that you whack out of balance with like overwhelmingly great energy, and not so much anymore where you're not used to seeing anything at all. And so you're like, oh, this is never going to happen. They're saying there's evidence everywhere you look, if you choose to see it and kind of step, open your eyes and go into like gratitude mode, of things shifting in your reality. So if you've started some sort of a social media channel or whatever, like slowly maybe, you're noticing each time you maybe check your stats or whatever, oh, I got 5 or 6 more people today. Oh, wow. Oh man, my short went from, these are just examples. Let's slot this in wherever works for you. But like, oh man, my short, used to be nobody looked at it. Then I've slowly was like a couple hundred people. Now it's like 1,000 people a day are looking at my shorts. Wow, that's amazing. And so it's not so much of like a bam overnight success that could be a little bit fleeting and a little bit draining on you. It's more like this nice, steady, and I think the guides are having fun with it too. Like they like to see you, like, oh, wow, you open up your inbox or whatever, and like, oh, wow, I got this thing that I wanted. Like, yes. And then, so if they plopped it all at the same time, it would just be this big, like, major, oh, wow. And then it would kind of be over, right? And then you would step into like the new reality of all these things. But with this slow progression over the next 6 months or so, it's going to be like each day, like opening a Christmas present, like, oh, wow, like a little present, right? Like, oh yeah, that's happening for me now. Man, that's finally happening for me. If it's a person, it could be that somehow this person like finally reaches out to you in this sweet little way that you weren't expecting. They're like, oh wow, could this be my person? And then each day you kind of have a little chat with this person, like, I really like this person. And it's more like a flirty, like rather than hi, meet, wham, bam, let's move in. It's more of like a steady progression, like, hey, how you doing? A little text love note every day. And each day you can feel the connection getting stronger. And then before you know it, the person's like, oh, I really want to come see you if you're too far away, or I really want to visit with you. I want to start spending more time with you. Is there a way I could like come see you on the weekend or on a Saturday? Or could we set a date to where every day, every week we meet on Saturdays? It's going to slowly progress. And then, slowly over time, maybe by, somewhere in this 6 months or so, if you both are jiving with each other's vibe, then at some point, the person might going to be like, wow, I really want to take this to the next level. And you're going to be like, yeah, wow, I really want to take this to the next level. And then you make plans. So it's going to be this nice, just so nice, just progression of energies to the Wheel of Fortune being on the upswing, right? Maybe it's your finances, and you've been like in this rut with your finances, and you've been trying to manifest and come up with a way to increase your finances, be that find another job or, I don't know, do some side hustle or become a Reiki certified person and do Reiki on the side and start seeing some clients on the side. And it's going to be this nice little progression to where if your end goal was like, I want to leave my ho-hum 3D world job and become, like a Reiki master teacher or whatever. But slowly over time, yeah, I'm getting big chills there. Like slowly over time, you get a client here and there, and they start coming to you like on the weekends or whatever. And then, it's like he tells 2 friends and she tells 2 friends and so on and so on and so on. And then 6 months from now, maybe you have this whole client list and there's so much demand for your time and you're making so much side money that you've got money saved up on the side. And you're like, I think I might be able to maybe go part-time at my corporate 3D job or whatever job it is. And maybe I slowly transfer and bring more and more of these people, this Reiki practice people in. And then slowly at some point you're like, wow, I think I have enough saved, a nice little nest egg. And I feel like I have enough of a client list to where I think I can leave my regular world job and take off into the world of this Reiki master teacher training thing. I mean, a nice slow progression, not I just got Reiki master certified. Okay, I'm just going to leave the corporate world and I'm going to just open up my practice right now. With no money saved, no business plan, nothing. So it's those kind of things. It is your time. It is all ready to like pop off for you in a very good way. But right, I could see those like little lids coming off those I haven't even touched the cards in a while. I haven't even, see those lids coming off these bubble tea cups and like pop, 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 pop. Here's all the stuff you wanted. It is all going to transpire for you in exciting ways, but not in overwhelming ways that are going to blow out your energy field and leave you frazzled, because you worked really hard to be kind of, you know, Zen or Taoist and very go with the flow and very high vibey and very like high frequency. And we don't want to throw frequencies off in either direction, be it too low of a vibe or even too high, because too high is going to frazzle you. Some of your chakras are going to blow out of whack. You're going to feel like, you know, frazzled, like you just got this big jolt of energy, like too many cups of coffee. And we don't want that, even for the good things. We want things to stay nice and balanced on the mental, emotional, physical realms of who you are. So we're going to grab you any advice. I think we're going to use the City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco. Set in New York City, right? This is the city of dreams. People leave their life behind and run off to New York City, sometimes with no business plan and nothing but their suitcase, and expect to just make it there because they can make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York. Oh, that reminds me, right? It's up to you, New York. Like the city is supposed to do it for you. And that reminds me of, I love Never Have I Ever on Netflix. It's like the Indian family story. Oh, I love this. My son is like, how many times are you going to watch this series? Mom, I've watched it, this whole series, like, is it 4 seasons? I've watched that series like probably 6 or 7 times now, because it just has the perfect balance. But I like it when the mom has got the baby, and Melanie, she has the baby and she's outside, and the dad rides up on like a scooter, and he's like, look what I got for our date nights. And she's like, I told you to buy a moderately priced sedan. And he's like, but California, because it takes place in California, in the valley, California gave me other instructions. It's like, is New York gonna tell you? Is New York going to take care of all your dreams? Is California going to take? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, in that case, California really did kind of make them have like a happier life, because he loved, like me, he loved the state of California, and he wanted to move there from India. So he brought her over from India as his wife. When they were first married, they bought a house in the LA Valley, and they were trying to make their dreams come true. And she was like a doctor. She's a dermatologist, and it didn't seem like he had a job. And then he ended up, maybe I shouldn't spoiler alert in case you want to watch it. But he just felt like California was calling him, that California was going to help make all his dreams come true. This bright, sunny state with all this fresh energy. And it did. Like, they bought the scooter, and then they ended up like, she did not like the idea of the scooter at all. Like a motor scooter, like a what is that thing called? Like a Vespa kind of a thing. But they did end up, like, he got it blessed at the temple, so she felt comfortable riding on the back of it. And they would go to Malibu all the time. Oh, Malibu. They would go to Malibu to cry. They would go to Malibu all the time and go to the beach on this little scooter for their date nights. Oh, it was amazing. And in that case, California did help make their dreams come true, because otherwise he would have been driving around in some boring old, like, Nissan Sentra or some boring car. Because the car she had was like this boring, car, like a little sedan. She's like, I told you to buy a moderately priced sedan. And he's like, but California gave me other instructions. They have like this cool scooter. All right, so that's the kind of energy coming in for you now. It's like, maybe your faith does get buoyed, or maybe you're manifesting a new high vibe place to live as part of this too, because that did not come up yet, and it's coming up now with this deck. Is a new high vibe place for you to live. So maybe another thing that needs to pop off in your bubble tea cups is your new high vibe location. And maybe where you're at right now, like, you like it, but you're kind of like, well, I don't really, it's not my forever place. It's okay. And then some other high vibe place is calling to your soul, like, come to me, come to me, come to me, bringer of the light, and do your light work here on my soil. Oh my God, California, New York, all these different, who knows where your place is, Florida. Oh, there's other ones that are coming up, Glastonbury. These are all my power spaces, Maui, Hawaii. Now you can slot whatever ones you want in here. We've got the book. All right, let's get a message of advice, or messages of advice for pile number 2. See, I knew it was more than one. Your intuition may even be increasing and getting better as part of this whole energies opening up for you thing, as a reward for all the spiritual work that you've done, all the integrity upgrades you've received. When you advance spiritually and consciously and go up in frequency, you get what I call, quote unquote, like integrity upgrades. And so, you know, at some point, I think maybe some of your psychic senses were kind of shut down a little bit because you didn't need them. You were doing inward work. And now that you're ready to get back out there, your psychic senses are opening back up again. And you may feel like, wow, I've got better intuitive hits than I've been having for a while. My spidey senses are like right on the money. And so that wasn't that you had lost any of those psychic gifts. It was just that you didn't really necessarily need to have those going on for you at that point in time. You were doing all this shadow work, all these upgrades and ascension upgrades and enhancements and stuff. But now you're good to go. And so your guides are letting those energy streams come back online again. So the advice for you is, see, you belong here. I am going to read. That's 212, maybe an angel number for you. There's an angel number book I want to look at too about getting for us. And community. So let's read for you belong here. See if I can make it there. Oh, my dog's having a dream. Her tail is wagging really loud. See, I'm telling you. You belong here in the city, wherever you feel called, and here on the planet at this precise time. There is something, here we go. There is something so magnetic about New York City. The sense of belonging, the anonymity that gives you the opportunity to express yourself freely. It's a feeling of blending in and being witnessed all at once. This is not to say that it's easy or simple, but in its wild complexity, the city welcomes you. You belong here. I'm telling you, this also was very strong in the book. Well, I won't remember. What is the name? The prequel to Practical Magic, where, yes, I'm getting big chills, where she moves from Salem in the book to New York City to practice her magic. And she just feels so welcome because Salem obviously was like during the Puritan times, right? So nobody could do anything. Her and her red boots. It was like chastised and all that, right? But when she moved to New York City, it was like this big freedom fest of like, you could practice magic openly and, you know, sell your wares and open your Reiki master shop or whatever. And no one was going to like persecute you or judge you or whatever, because kind of like anything goes, right? In the city of magical dreams. So you belong here. So there may be New York City or something similar. If you're in another country, there could be some New York City or what you feel like is a New York City equivalent to you. London's coming up, Paris. Yeah, these kinds of cities. If you're in a smaller city, sometimes then the magical dream is always right to like move to the bigger city somewhere. So that could be coming up. Or you could be from another country and being like, I want to go to New York City. That's where I've always wanted to go, no matter what country you're in. And then community is for you too. So let's read from community. Yeah, it's time. Connection, sharing, sitting in circle, learning from others, and creating friendships. A teacher once told me to pay extra attention to who sits directly across from you in the circle. They may have an extra special message for you or significant resonance to your story. Community is so important. Go where you feel supported. Find your people. There's an open space waiting for you to join. So it's time for you to get back out there in the world. You don't have as much, if any right now, major shadow work happening, major ascension work. You've done this big bulk of work on yourself. And so that time is over now. That ended with the solstice, winter solstice, December solstice 2023. You've been set free from all of that soul work because you did such a good job. And now it's your time to manifest. Get back out in the world. Join that knitting circle you wanted to join, or the book club circle, or the Patreon group, or create your own, your Reiki master. You've got all this wisdom you want to share. Create your own social circle or your own coven, or, be it in the 3D world where you live or virtually online somewhere. You'll be guided to what feels right to you, but it's time to get back out there in the world. You may have been kind of in this like friends of the friendless space for quite some time as you've been doing this shadow work. I think the majority of your friends were removed from your 3D reality by source, by your guides, because you were supposed to be focusing on you. You weren't supposed to be going out and having like wild friend nights and all that. So, and taking on the energy and the drama, possibly it could have been drama, of anybody in your friend circle at that time. And I think those friends were removed because as you emerge from this, cocoon of higher learning and high vibiness, you're going to need new, more high vibey friends, and those other ones probably wouldn't even resonate with you now if you tried to go back and, spend time with them anyway. So there's a lot going on for you. The message is just to manage your energy, stay balanced, stay focused on what you want. It is meant for you. It is coming. The next 6 months are going to be this kind of wild, very balanced, very fun, kind of magical, just, magical ride. So enjoy that time as well, because after that, I think it'll be more of a smoothing out integration period of integrating all these things into your life. So this like next 6 months or so is like your Christmas time, your extended Christmas time, or whatever, whatever birthday celebration or whatever celebration of all these things like coming down into your 3D reality. And so just enjoy opening all these these gifts from the divine, these presents from source. Things that you have also co-created along with source by holding space and doing your due diligence to trust and have faith that all these things were really meant for you. So that is all I have for you, pile number 2. I'm so glad you joined me here. And hopefully we will see you again next time. Take care. Hello, pile number 3. Hello. You chose the Mermaid Tarot. Woo! You've already got cards falling out. By Dame Darcy. And a reading from my book, The Fairies of Lemonlock, yet to be published. We're going to intuitively read a chapter. I see 22 on the timer. What fairy tale are you manifesting? So for this one, since it's not, I don't even think I've got it in the manuscript yet, I'm just going to have to scroll and have my fingers stop where they tell me and see 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Chapter 4, Sally Says a Lot. So this is your intuitive reading for what fairy tale are you manifesting right now. So let's see. The magic mushroom of incantation sat at the center of the circle. As Jenna watched and waited, a dung beetle appeared at the top of the mushroom. Small and beguiling at first, the iridescent green and yellow of the beetle's body glimmered in the afternoon sun that filtered through the trees of Lemonlock. Jenna leaned forward to get a better look, and then she smiled. Sally's iridescence shone like a beacon of light and hope, and Jenna held out her hand for the beetle to perch on it if she so desired. "How can we help others?" Jenna said aloud to the fairy folk of Lemonlock. "I feel like I'm here for a greater purpose." "Of course you are," the leader of Lemonlock, a wise and ancient fairy named Millicent Merryweather, said from her perch atop a blue birch that sat at the northernmost top of the fairy circle. "We like to help too, and so we have called you here to assist." Jenna smiled again at the delight that wherever she wandered, magic could be at her doorstep. This is kind of a long chapter. Let me just see what it is. It is in giving that we received. So she's saying, one day I met a fellow, so there's a dung beetle starts talking. This is Sally Says a Lot, and says, "One day I met a fellow dung beetle, Ferdinand, and Ferdinand had the most beautiful purple and gold wings. I really liked those wings so much." Sally trailed off at the mention of her friend Ferdinand, who had come and gone. Such was the way with traveling monks. Ferdinand showed me a way to make more of myself, to feel better about how I am in the world. He brought me here to Lemon Lock, and I used my unique talent of fertilizing to help others by planting seeds of hope and good cheer amongst the others here. You see, she said happily now, it is in giving that we receive. The more I tried to offer happiness and calm healing words to my fellow travelers, the better I felt. And then one morning, upon waking after many, many moons of providing this service, my wings felt different. The most beautiful of yellow and gold iridescence surrounded me, a gift for all the work I'd done to help others find their magic within themselves. And so now here I am, Sally said, taking a breath. So this is about somebody who's done a lot of service work, has a very big aura. She's a green and yellow dung beetle, but apparently she didn't start out that way. She said she started out a long time ago when her body was dull and an uninteresting color of brown and mucky black. She felt really bad self-consciously, and she felt like she wasn't very well liked. And then she met a fellow dung beetle, a traveling monk, Ferdinand, who helped her see the beauty and opened her up to her soul mission and soul purpose, which was to help others. So let's see. And I've got this incense burning. So no other group has had incense, but I was guided to pull out the Fantasia incense and put it in the magical hands, a magical incense hand. And so Fantasia, every time we do one of these pick cards, the Fantasia incense wants to come out for at least one, if not multiple of the groups. So the card that fell out was the 9 of Pentacles. Yes, reaping rewards for past efforts. Reaping rewards. I might have to move the incense at some point here if it gets too smoky or if the dog starts to get bothered by it. So reaping rewards for past efforts. And when I pulled out this deck for this group, I heard yo-ho, yo-ho, a pirate's life for me, which is pirates coming in. And this, this is quite interesting. The Fairies of Lemon Lock, this book, was started, I think, in the month of June, because for whatever reason in the month of June for me, pirates always come in. Pirates' beauty and pirates' treasure and pirates and the mystical, magical fun of running away, and joining the pirates as they search for buried treasure. And here you've got like this buried treasure chest opening up to this mermaid. Well, all this 9 of Pentacles goodness. I do notice another thing too. I was every night now just in honoring my decks because I feel like I'm just on the verge of having too many to where I can't use them all often enough. And too many for me is like, I don't know how many tarot decks I have now. Maybe 10, maybe 12. And I'm getting one more. So that is like on the verge of having too many. So at night I get one out and I like flip through the cards and just enjoy why I like them so much so that they feel like they're at least getting used. But I noticed on this deck last night, and I'm noticing it right now, and it wasn't this card, it was another card, that the deck is not perfect. This says 9 of Pentacles, not 9 of Pentacles. And there's another Pentacles card or a Swords card too, where the S is missing. So, and just like Sally, the dung beetle, said she started out, she didn't feel she was perfect. She felt like she was all brown and mucky and she had to do like all this service work. And then she got this gift and she became like all iridescent and beautiful. And she got to help out. So what does this have to do with what fairy tale is coming true for you? So it's like magical adventure is goodness. Let's just shuffle a little bit more from this. Oh my gosh, so many cards are falling out. When could they be? Oh, wow. Okay, I wish I could like take the camera. I can kind of, but I don't want to like whack you out. I'm going to see if I can take the camera and show you what I'm seeing without being, no, never mind. It's not going to work. I'll just kind of try to tell you. Over here, down here on the floor is the King of Wands. And he's looking this way. And over here, down on the floor, way over here, is the Queen of Swords. And she's looking that way. So they're both kind of looking at each other. But there's a couple of other cards. So let me pick up this Queen of Swords. I feel like this is you. Oh, and she had cards. So when it fell, it kind of fell like this. The cards that fell. And so here she is. Look at them tears. And then underneath it is the Fool. Oh, look. And even, oh, and look. Even, I guess maybe in falling, like her little corners got bent. When it fell on the floor. Imperfection. Feeling not good enough. And the Seven of Pentacles, like this is like a divine timing, like waiting for all those dreams to pop off and come to be. So let's put the Queen over here with her little Seven of Pentacles and the Fool card. And let's go grab this King. This also feels very relationship based. Did he get some cracked corners? No. So his fell like this, him, and then this card was like this. And she was kind of looking that way. And they're both very, like, look at the similarity in the colors. So interesting. They're not the same suit. One is swords and one is wands. She doesn't even look like a wands. Or she doesn't look like a sword. It's like, he doesn't look like wands. Is this black and white energy going on? Okay, what is he going on about here? Can we see that? And then his other card was, oh, the Ten of Swords. The black and white, the life has been really hard and now I'm tired. What are you manifesting? More pentacles. All right, let's get spring. Wait, love. Oh, you want Loveland. All right, so this is my deck, Loveland. This is the spring pack and the autumn pack mixed together. All my decks, if you fancy any of them, are available at the Game Crafter. Links to everything I talk about are in the show notes. And I think this might be a reading where we do an extended over on Patreon. So I have a Patreon. There's two tiers. There's the Bringers to the Light tier where we put all the extended readings from anything we do here on the channel or on the podcast. And then we have the Bringers to the Light Academy, the Inner Sanctum, which is a smaller group, 20 or less people in there. And it's much more dedicated work. Spirit work, but fun work as a little small, like, coven group, little mini Avalon, mini Hogwarts, where we play and do magical teachings and stuff. All right, so why are they having me fan this deck? They're having me fan this deck, so I know I like to play. All right, so what else is going on for you, pile number 3? I still don't have a line on what's happening here. 3 choices. Emily didn't want to choose. She loved all her horses equally, but the universe was forcing her hand. Which horse would get to stay at Loveland Ranch? Does that go there? And one more. Alternate dimensions. When you just know you've met somewhere before. And we get some. There's that song. The Miley Cyrus song has been through every single one of these piles. It's my party. I can do what I want. It's my party. I can say what I want. I can see who I want. I can be who I want. I don't even know if that's the real lyrics or not. But and look at how the cards are. The King of Wands has 3 cards, or King of Wands, there's 3 cards, and then there's 3 cards to the side. So the placement of the cards is also part of the reading when they have me put it's like puzzle pieces coming together. And then this 3 choices thing is in the middle. So there's like this 3-3-3 energy going on, right? 3 cards to the left are 3 choices, 3 cards to the right are 3 choices, 3 choices in the middle, 3-3-3. And then the 9 of Pentacles is a 3-by-3 energy. As well. 3 times 3 is 9. So there's some sequences, like, isn't that like a Fibonacci number? Is 9 a Fibonacci number? No, I don't know. But there's like the Fibonacci sequence is coming into this, the golden ratio, cycles and rhythms. I feel like this is, is this they're saying, no, this is a standalone group. It's not necessarily that you're coming from another group. They're saying it's a very similar message to another group in this reading, but it's quite different in the outcome. All right, quite different in the outcome. So, because it was about talking about, it started out talking about doing service work, and now it's talking about people. And the service work was talking about being rewarded for all the service work that you've done. And now we have what appears to be like two people coming together, a King of Wands and a Queen of Swords, and having to make some choices. And this King of Wands person is tired, it looks like. And the Queen of Wands has got this big Fool energy going on. All right, I still need more information. So I'm going to get out, what is that? Lemurian Star Child Oracle. So this is my group 3, is a little bit more, always seems to be a little bit more my spiritually advanced group. Expression, Dolphins. And the bottom of the deck is, and we will, Ships of Light, Starseed energy. And the 11 is balanced. Yeah, they're saying this is my twin flames. So these are people that are knowingly on a twin flame journey. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is my power couple pile. All right. So we have tried to step back a little bit from doing so much twin flamey stuff at TLC for the Soul, only because we recognize, you know, not everybody's on a twin flame journey. Not everybody likes those labels or whatever, and we have you just more taking the labels away and just focusing on the love that you feel in your heart, the energy that surrounds you. But at the same time, we do recognize and are personally on a twin flame journey. And so it's not that it doesn't exist and that we don't ever want to talk about it, but this pile 3 is my more like spiritually advanced, knows you're on a twin flame journey, is tired. Yeah, I'm getting chills. Understands more the energetics of what a twin flame journey is all about, finds it to be a very sacred union and partnership, wants to know more about it, understands what the labels mean, has no problem with saying that they're, you know, on a twin flame journey, is very proud of the fact that they've done all this work on themselves, and is looking for that power couple union that is going to, yeah, because it's part of your dharma. It's part of your, they're saying your chakras, which that's true too. It is part of your chakras are a little bit differently aligned when you're on a twin flame journey to this other person. And you're here to serve a higher purpose. And as such, you recognize the sacredness and the moniker of what it means to be on the quote-unquote twin flame journey. That is a sacred soul contract, that it is usually like energetically, it is a power couple, whether it is in the 3D or not, like whether you're some like famous power couple or not, you know, like as defined by the 3D world, like you're both celebrities or something, which you could be, as a metaphor too. But this is the ultimate twin flame journey kind of laid out here on the table. You know, 2 star seeds who went through the whole star seed thing, and now they're like, now I've kind of gone beyond that, and I'm up in the higher realms of expression now, working more with source light and source energy, and yes, and solar REIKI light consciousness and different levels of consciousness. And I'm still holding on, though, to this twin flame journey, and I'm waiting for this person. And I may have met them before, or you may not have met them before, but you understand the energetics of what it is to be a twin flame and how important it is to your soul's work in the world. So what is the fairy tale, then, that you're manifesting? Because there's like the twin flame journey, it appears to be kind of tiring on one side and kind of, you know, let's get ready to go over here. I'm ready. Divine timing, I'm waiting. What exactly are you waiting for then? Have you met this person? Are you already on this power couple soul mission thing? What's happening here? Because in the book, I didn't get the sense that this Ferdinand dung beetle and the Sally dung beetle were divine counterparts. It was just more like he came along and helped her out, and then he left, and then she was on her own. So what's going on there? They're saying that was like a past life, past lives. Yes, that's it. I am here for you in the good times and the bad. So you realize like this, oh my God, so many chills. You realize that this is a connection that never dies. It's been through many past lives together. It's been through many, many eons of separation, maybe from your person. So maybe they're saying it's either way. It's either a person you know and have met, or for some of you, it's someone you know their energy, but you haven't met them yet. But you're still working mission together in the 5D, whether you realize it or not. And so there's this feeling like, you know, I feel you, you're always with me, even when you're maybe necessarily not here, even you've met them before. Maybe you do have some sort of piece of clothing of theirs, and you're like, you smell it, and it's like, oh, it smells just like them. I know their scent, I know their energy. Or you haven't met them and you're like, I just know their energy. They live in my heart. And if they ever were to show up in my 3D world, I would just know them right away by their energy signature. So there's that. And then what is this karmic entanglement? Oh, I just want you to like me, maybe even love me. Heck, you don't even have to love me like that. We could just make love, you know. Amber to Diego and Moxie and Roses. Okay, what this is all the past relationships in your life, this lifetime, where you thought you really liked somebody. Maybe they felt to you like they were your person, because Amber really likes Diego, and he's playing like a love song, so I have to listen when he plays songs. Amber really thought Diego was her person. I remember this, and these are quotes from my book in this deck, Twin Hearts. So did I already say that? I don't know how many piles I've done now. All my ebooks are free to read. If any of these books interest you, my Smashwords publisher and all that good stuff, if I haven't already said it, those in the show notes, link to my cards if you like any of these decks, is there as well. And this was Amber and Diego and Moxie and Roses, and she really thought he was her person. Oh yeah, she was all up in arms about Diego, that he was the one, and really he was not her one. Moxie was Diego's person in this book series. They were like, you know, divine counterparts. And Amber was just, you know, the fickle, you know, she liked any Hawkeye that came along. And it was Diego until Luke, or was it Luke? One of the other ranch hands, then all of a sudden she liked him, and maybe he was her person. You know, she didn't really know. And so she was kind of back and forth with the Diego thing for a while. And at one point she did say, she showed up at night after they were hanging out by the fireplace, and she like, you know, was like, oh, you don't even have to love me like that. You could just make love. And he was like, look, first of all, you're too young for me. I think she was like, in the book, she was like 17 or something, and he was in his 20s, and he's like, no, I want a more mature. She was totally out there. That's this fool energy. So, you know, maybe that's the kind of relationships you've had in the past, and what you want is, and you had those relationships for a reason. So you recognize, because we said you already recognize, you know, I know what karmic relationships are, catalysts or whatever. Had my share of those, and I learned a lot from them. So maybe in this story, this Sally dung beetle and this Ferdinand dung beetle, you know, this traveling monk energy, maybe he did teach her a lot. Maybe he was, you know, some love him and leave him dung beetle or whatever. Maybe he taught her a lot, and then he moved on. Maybe it was like a catalyst, you know, the catalyst or karmic dung beetle. It wasn't really her person. And, but he taught her a lot, and she, you know, opened up to her spiritual gifts and practices because of him and his little visit into her world. He was like a very fleeting in the night kind of energy. But you still haven't told me what's coming true, what fairy tale is coming true. I think in a way the twin flame journey is like a fairy tale journey, right? It's like if you just told anybody else that didn't know what the journey was about, they would be like, you're out of your mind. And sometimes when I hear stories of people's twin flame journeys, I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. The synchronicities, the things that happen, the yeah, just the stuff that goes on is just so beyond the beyond. Sometimes you're like, is this actually even for real? What's going on here? So I do, yeah. It's just like it's like a fairy tale. It's like running away with the pirates. It's like running away with the fae. It's like a magical journey beyond any other. I really do honestly feel that way. And why is it a magical journey beyond any other? I think it's because you're conscious of it as it's happening. You are aware it's a twin flame journey, and you're like so tapped into it, and the energy and the telepathy and the magic and the synchronicities. It's just so much more magical than just some 3D romance, which may not even be, it may not be a 3D. It's I think what it is it's so much more magical because you're aware of what it is, how sacred it is, why, you know, why it's happening, what it's all about. I think that makes it more mystical. And I think that can be very appealing, right? It can be very appealing for those of you that like that, you know, run away with the fae and or like to play in the magical realms. It's a very enticing journey. It's kind of fun. It's like, man, if I ever had to tell my grandkids about this, I don't know if they would even believe me, the way some of these things came together. So yeah, so I've got 2 more cards to draw for you as to what's going on here. So we're going to get, see, we're getting a Brian Frow deck. I mean, come on. What else is going on here? What do we got? What fairy tale? Is it just the journey itself? Is that the fairy tale? The She of the Cruach. Okay, that's a divine feminine card. That's like the chalice, the divine chalice, the divine feminine, the energy of the divine feminine. Could be like it could be a metaphor for like the chalice well in Glastonbury. She of the Cruach is a member of the angelic guides in this deck. So it's more of an angelic, higher light being energy. Okay, that's a card number 5. And then this other deck wants to come out. This is also a very spiritual deck, Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yombrock Rose. And I probably will want to read from the book here. Anything else for pile number 3? There's 2. See, look, see, this is the magic of this journey. For me, the number is 2, the 2s, the 222s, the 2 number 2s show up everywhere. 2s show up everywhere. I had an egg with a double yolk the other day, and right now, it's all the little signs and synchronicities. It feels like one card, but it's not, it's chiffon. It feels like butter. Okay, so there's really 2 cards stuck together. So let's see. It tastes like butter, but it's not. It's chiffon. Wasn't there? It's like such an old commercial. Oh my God. See, this is like some timeless thing. Okay, so I've got the book, and the first card that came out is Embody Ancient Wisdom. And there we've got to have the tour in the background. I told you I felt Glastonbury coming through. All right, so this is card number 33, a master number, and you've got 3. Look, the 3s. You had 3, 3, 3, the 3s. We've got 3 coming out again with 33, Embody Ancient Wisdom. So let's see what that says first. Oh, Merlin. Okay, yes, this is my starseed power couple doing a dual soul mission together. So I feel like it's your dual soul mission being activated. Study the old ways of the ancestors. Their traditions and myths are relevant today and will awaken the sage within you. Celestial youth, ancient one, the radiant prophet Merlin stands in the spot where the male, here we go, I'm telling you, where the male, we just talked about this, where the male and female energy lines cross in the Chalice Well Gardens, the point of spiritual androgyny. Oh my gosh, I felt the chalice well. Okay, a Merlin was a bard and teacher of the Druid mysteries. The historical Merlin was called Merlin Emrys Merlin Ambrosius. His castle is a hillock of crystal stones in Gwynedd, North Wales. The breathtaking view, so it's not the tour. The breathtaking view from the top is the enchanted landscape, it looks like the tour, of Snowdonia, with the river Lindinus winding its way through the verdant valley below. This was formerly Vortigern's stronghold, but after his defeat it was given to Merlin and renamed Dinas Emrys, Fortress of Ambrosius. Oh yeah, you could go in way deep with all of that. Oh, I'm telling you. So you may have some dual soul mission that involves, yes, the dual soul mission is getting big chills, that involves land keeping, gatekeeping, yes. Oh, so many chills. Being a steward of the land. You may have or will be working with Merlin on this mission. Snowdonia, Wales, the UK. This is a very Celtic inspired deck a little bit though. Celtic shamanism, mythology, otherworldly. Merlin was always like my assignment, gave me like assignments to do as soul mission work. So you've got Merlin, and then the other card that was underneath it was Magic is Alive, Ask Your Divine Child. And see this deck, and look, she's got 3 pearls. I'm telling you, says 3. And this card is number 17. That's all about moving forward. That's my moving forward number, 717, 77. The fairy goddess mother. Ask your question with a sense of lightheartedness. Adopt the unhindered enthusiasm of youth to open the free flow of ideas and answers from your guides and guardians. Keep your childlike wonder and imagination active while living in the world. Dream. See, that's my whole runaway with the Fae energy. It's like, I want my head in the clouds running away with the Fae. Even if I do have to go to the grocery store, I bring my guides with me through, you know, my little tchotchkes that I wear that embody the energy of some of my guides. Your twin flame is always with you. You take them with you like Liz always says on Guided by Angels, like take them with you wherever you go, you know, whether you are in contact with them in the 3D or not, they're always with you. So this says magical orbs like giant pearls of wisdom are brought from the other world by the ethereal fairy goddess mother and offered to the young one. They are bubbles of inspiration that kindle the divine child within us to invent what we always knew should exist, along with the blueprints of how to create and bring it forth. All we must do is ask and believe. There we go. The assistance will be given. In the distance, it is Shasta. Majestic Mount Shasta rises above the trees. Oh, Telosians, into a clear azure sky. A portal is open to the mysterious land of Telos that legend says lies within it. Oh, my Telosians are like some of my favorite They're my favorite beings to work with. Oh, I love Shasta. Okay, so that's another one, like maybe Mount Shasta, maybe California, maybe you just bebop and travel around and do. So it sounds like this soul mission, and it feels very much around like, well, and here's the reason why too. As a twin flame couple in whatever you want to call it, reunion, union, in a committed partnership, part of what happens there is we've talked about the fact that you're like this quasar energy. The energy of the one is multiplied when the two unite as one, whether it's not necessarily orgasmic. When the two come together in a committed partnership, your energy levels are like quantum fields expanded. And so part of the twin flame in union's assignment is to go around to these different places and spaces, not just etherically, but physically, share your DNA and share your little quasar energy fields with these sacred sites and these sacred places for the purpose of, I think we've talked about in other readings that a twin flame journey is also like the spiritual business of the twin flame union, that the romance, you know, spirit doesn't necessarily, the romance is the reward, but spirit, source, if you're here on behalf of the betterment and highest good of Gaia and helping raise the consciousness of the planet, then part of your purpose is to help go raise the consciousness levels of all these different areas of the planet by spreading your quasar energy around and lighting up the grids where you go. And so that is what's being activated here. This twin flame reunion union and the two of you kicking off this sister to the traveling pants, kicking off this like yo ho, we're going on some magical adventures together, traveling. It's about traveling around to 3D locations, but these are not just like you feel like, oh, I feel like going to wherever. This is like spirit, your guide, your twin flame guide, could be Merlin, could be another. Yeah, they're saying that your twin flame guides that help with this type of energy work that we're talking about typically come from Shambhala. So many chills. So it could be Merlin. It could be another higher light being helping you on this light mission, light work, bringers of the light work, this traveling work. It's kind of like a different set of guides guiding you here because they understand what the planet needs at this now. And so those guides come more from like the angelic realms and the very higher light being realms of, yeah, like Shambhala, the Telosians, who are more of a subterranean, so you're going to have some guides that show up that may be a little bit different to kind of help you transition into this part of this twin flame adventure of land stewardship or whatever. I don't know. It's going to be different for each one of you. But the fun for you is, right, that you got all these different monikers and understandings, and you just understand the whole journey from such a different level. It's just so much fun. So that is what's kicking off for you. Now, is there a time frame? Well, we have this 3-6-9 thing going on. So I think, yeah, and time, well, we know time isn't linear, but 3-6-9. Oh, over the next okay. So it's going to happen incrementally over the next 3 to 9 months. This journey is going to kind of kick off and get set in motion. So it's like within the next 3 months, something's going to happen to get this ball rolling. And then within the 3 months after that, so 6 months from now, it kind of takes itself to another level. And then another 3 months and 9 months from now, that journey goes to another level, to where at some point here, then you do begin to more fully embody the assignments that you'll be given, and you'll be better able to manifest them and take care of it. It sounds like maybe resources are involved too. So having the resources to do the traveling, to the coming together, the sorting things out, the making a plan, how you're going to come together. What does this mean to be in union? Okay, and now we're going to start getting assignments. Okay, we need to have resources set aside to be able to go to all these places and do all these things. And how is that going to come in? Well, obviously you're going to be divinely supported, but the 3D things also have to happen to bring in the resources. Plus you're like constantly traveling, right? So things are going to be spread out over this 3-6-9 thing. And maybe you travel every 3 months. So I remember when I was working in the corporate world, every 3 months I would go to California from Texas. And it was like, I would go to California and I would usually spend like a week there. I would spend a week there, and then I would travel back. And then it felt like before I turned around again, it was time to travel back again. And I remember at one point it was like, why am I still here in Texas? And then that finally decided to just, my company, I asked them if I could just transfer to California, and they're like, yeah, sure, come on. Like my whole team was over there. So it may be this incremental thing that starts happening with the traveling and getting the resources together and getting the 3D things in place, because, that's needed too. Spirit is going to help all these things align for you to start to kick off this magical adventure, this kind of next part of the twin flame journey for you. So that is all that we have, pile 3. That was really fun, and I'm really excited that I got to do this reading for you. What? I'm saying, because I never say that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It sounds so 3D. But yeah, if you like this content and you want to support the channel and spread the good karma around, then you can choose to follow us and like this video. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me here in this space. I love you all, and I will see you all again soon. It sounds like there is going to be an extended for this, but I will come back and let this group know in YouTube when the extended is available. I'm not going to record it right away, but it sounds like there's another teaching that goes along with this twin flame thing that we are going to be putting out in the Patreon in the Bringers of the Light tier, which is the first tier. So when that's available, I'll let this group know. Otherwise, I will see you all again soon. Take care.